Stop! Before you go out and buy your next new vehicle, please be sure and watch this. Hi, I'm Monty with Everybody Loves Deals with Monty, and today I want to talk to you a little bit about a problem that's become, or something that's become a real problem over the last 4 or 5 years. And I don't see that it's a benefit for the industry, and it's definitely not a benefit for you, the customer. I don't understand the reasoning behind. I mean, I do understand the reasoning behind it. I don't understand the thought process of why they're doing it. And what I'm talking about is addendums. And I don't know if you've looked at vehicles lately. And again, I'm not trying to say every store does this. I know every store doesn't because we don't. But there are a lot of stores out there in the marketplace that are, when they put their new vehicles out there, right beside that Maroni label, they've got another sticker that has stuff that they've added to it, like Pro Pack, window tint, paint sealant, interior fabric protection, anything, wind steps, things like that. I even saw an alarm system that one dealership had on theirs for $999, and it had the name, the brand of the alarm. And I googled that brand, and I googled that what it was, and you can buy that same alarm system for $49.95 on Amazon. So I don't understand the thought process why you would do that to your customers, but who am I? Some dealers are different than others, and I get it. And I'm not here to knock anybody's business model. By no means am I here to do that, because they're in business for a reason. But I want to tell you a little bit about how it works with me and how it works with Four Stars. Um, we are There's a reason we've been the number one Chevrolet dealer in the state of Texas, according to Cars.com, for the last 3 years running. And that is because we take care of our customers. And one of the things that we made sure we did in during COVID and the chip shortage, because that all coincided at the same time, where we had no inventory. I used to manage the Dodge store across the street, and I don't know if you've ever driven by our Dodge store, but there's a place right in front of the dealership for about 7 or 8 cars, 9 cars maybe, that that's our front, and then we had side. The most of our inventory was on the sides and out back behind the building. So it was a weird setup, but we made do with what we had. Well, when I was actually running this Dodge store back during COVID, we barely had enough inventory, and didn't always have enough inventory to fill that front section. That's how low things got. But the one thing we never did do is we never did slap addendums on our vehicles. We did not charge excess prices for things that didn't necessarily have to be on there. So, and the worst part of it was, it's bad enough that you're getting overcharged for paint sealant, which I've never seen a vehicle come from the factory without their paint being sealed. $45 alarms are selling for $1,000. Window tint for $699 that you pay at most $150 for, because normally it's just two windows. Most vehicles come with the back windows already tinted. So I don't understand it. I never got it, but that's the one thing we never did. We made a vow that we were going to make sure we took care of our customers, because we know we depend on repeat and referral business. And just because I sell you once and we make all this money on you, has absolutely nothing to do with the value of the vehicle, but you're breaking in all this profit. Who's paying for that? Well, you are. The customer is. And we just didn't believe that was the right thing to do, because when you come to trade it in, even though you paid that extra money for market adjustment or for window tint or for whatever, you're not getting extra money for that. There's no market adjustment for low inventory or things like that. That adjustment is figured into the trade values that are going on market wide. So, but you don't get extra money because you paid extra money for it, because of the time you bought it. It was during COVID or the chip shortage. So the other thing that I've seen, we're seeing a lot of now that things are getting sort of back to normal. Rebates are big. Inventories are filling up. I know our Dodge store has more trucks and cars than they know what to do with. We're just giving them away. But at the same time, I see dealers out there that are pricing their vehicles so ridiculously that we're able to access cost on every Chevrolet vehicle in the country. So we pull it up by VIN, and we can see actually what they paid for that vehicle. And the way they have it priced is losing thousands of dollars, some even losing $3,000 or $4,000. Well, guess where that's going to be made up at? Because what they don't tell you in the advertised price is when you get here, they're going to have addendums on there. They still have the addendums. So its price does not include any extras or anything like that on the website. B, they're going to require that in order to get that price, you're going to be required to finance with them. Otherwise, if you don't finance with them, then there's going to be a different price for that vehicle. And three, some even say you have to have a trade-in, because what they're going to do is they're going to take the value of your trade, and even though it's worth X amount of dollars, they're not going to show you that full amount, and they're going to keep that money as profit to offset the loss they're making on the vehicle. So and when you go into, like I said, once you get in the finance office and finance with them, they're going to take the rate that you qualify for, and they're going to mark it up and get that money from the reserve that they make on that. So, and that's fine. That's again, that's their business model, and more power to them. I have absolutely I have no place to be sitting here and tell somebody how to run their business, but I can tell you how I run mine. And mine is this. What you see is what you get. When you go on my website, or when you see my price on Car Gurus, or when you see my price on cars.com or Carfax or Auto Trade or any of those places like that, on Facebook, whatever, when you get here, if my vehicle's priced at $19,988, my vehicle when you get here will be priced at $19,988. If you come in and you have a sack of $100 bills and you want to pay for it that way, then we're going to take your sack of $100 bills and we're going to let you buy the car. If you want to have your own financing, that's great. We'll accept financing from anyone, as long as the money's green and the check's cashable. We don't care where it's from. Now, we do offer financing options for you. Those financing options, more often than not all the time, but more often than not, we're able to actually get you a little bit better interest rate and term through our lenders, because we do so much business with these lenders that we're able to maybe negotiate a little bit better rate than what you get walking in the lobby. But with that being said, even if you still want to use your bank and the difference is enough to justify not doing business with the bank that you do business with, then that works. That's fine. You won't hear us complain, right, or try to raise the price on you or anything like that. Our only goal is to make sure that when you get here, that you get what you saw. In other words, if you saw a price on a vehicle for $19,988, you're getting $19,988 plus taxes and fees. And when I print out a deal sheet, I print it out to where it breaks down all the fees and everything, so that way you can see that we're not adding anything to it. It's all fully transparent, 100% honesty up front. We try to price our vehicles as aggressively as possible. We take a look at the market and how things are going within a 250 all the way out to 500 miles, depending on the vehicle and the demand and supply. And we base trade-ins off that. So look, the more the trade's worth, the easier my job is, right? So my job, I do my very best to get you the most money possible. But at the same time, someone's going to be buying that vehicle, and like you're buying if you're buying a pre-owned car, you're buying someone's trade-in, and you don't want to pay more than what the vehicle's worth. And then keep in mind, with all the service and maintenance and detail and things like that we have to do on the vehicle once we take it in, not to mention the advertising dollars that we spend, there's got to be some ground there to where between buying the vehicle from you or trading for it from you and being able to turn around and retail the vehicle, it has to make sense for both parties. And so that's just. But the one thing is you'll never see us trying to play any games. Everything is on the up and up. Everything is transparent right in front of you. So I just wanted to bring that up to you. I wanted to put that out there because it's something I've run into it time and time again. And to be honest with you, it's kind of frustrating because customers don't realize that until they go there. And the unfortunate part is a lot of customers, two things. One, they've driven so far to go buy that vehicle, and they get there and it's got these ads or requirements that you have to meet in order to buy the vehicle. Then it's one of those deals where You just do it just because, you know what, I've driven so far, and I just don't want to have to mess with this anymore. I don't want to have to go through it. And two, some people, just to save face, will do anything but come back and give us the opportunity because they don't want to admit that they were given bad information, or that some people just don't like to admit they were wrong. And that's not our goal. We don't want to tell you you're wrong. We just want to point out the information to you and say, here, based on what we know and what's happened in the past, the vehicle is priced so low because when you get there, this is what's going to happen. And so we tried to feed you that information so that you're able to make a wise decision on whether or not you want to do business here locally, where you know what you've got, or do you want to drive down to the Metroplex, fight that battle, and come to find out that it's not what it's all cracked up to be, that there's more to the story than what's actually on the website. So again, just wanted to drop this short line to you. Wanted to just put that information out there. Please be aware, be cognizant of what dealers are doing. Some, not all, some dealers are doing. There's just an unfortunate amount. Unfortunately, there's a large amount of dealers that are still playing the COVID game, and it's just something that we as a dealer group, we just don't want to participate in that, because our goal and our job is to make sure you are satisfied and you are in a position to where in a reasonable amount of time you're still in a position to trade, because we don't want to just sell you one car. We want to be your lifetime car supplier. Please call or text me 940-235-9345. I want to be your car guy. I do go out of my way to try to make car, truck, and SUV buying easy, and I want to make it fun. I want you to come in and have a good time. That's what this is all about. And so, no, this doesn't have to be, a scary situation for you. My job is to walk you through and coach you through the whole process. Find out what your goal is, what you're trying to accomplish, and try to figure out a way to make that work for you on the vehicle of your choice. So, and worst case scenario, if we're unable to do it, we're going to part as friends. There's no hard feelings by any means. And, sometimes it just doesn't work out. But I guarantee it won't be from a lack of trying on our end. We sure do have some great people in our finance office, and our general sales manager, general manager. They do great work. They have great relationships with the lenders, and they know the market. They know what values are on vehicles. That's one of the great things about having our own leasing company, which is a whole nother story we'll get into. That's one of the great things about having our own leasing company, is we're able to see market trends and things like that based on what residuals say the vehicle should be worth in X amount of years. And we're able to have access to information that helps us make the best decision, most wise decision, as far as, and be able to put the most money in your trade in as possible, and be able to get you the best deal on the vehicle you're purchasing. So thank you so much for tuning in. Again, if you're in the market for a new or used vehicle, if you're looking for a Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, a Chevrolet, a Ford, a Nissan, a Toyota, I'm your guy. Don't even have to leave the comfort of your own home. I will have everything delivered straight to your home or your office. Just delivered one today. Met a gentleman in Abilene. Took a vehicle to him. Never stepped foot on the lot. Never. I wouldn't know him if he walked in the door, other than seeing his driver's license. But that's just, we make it simple. We make it easy. We do our very best to make it an experience that you don't forget, and hopefully keep us in mind down the road. So again, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Give me a call, shoot me a text, 940-235-9345. Please go to my Facebook page. My YouTube channel, Deals with Monty. Check out my videos. I've even got some videos on there on the state of the Dallas Mavericks, talking about last night's preseason or summer league opener with Cooper Flag. I've got some stuff coming up talking about the Rangers. Should we be buyers? Should we be sellers? Dallas Cowboys. What's the deal with Micah Parsons? Why hasn't he signed yet? What are we waiting on? We're just trying to get the market to get more expensive so that way we can spend more cap money. I don't know. These are just a few of the things that we're going to be talking about in the near future. Also about vehicles. We're going to keep vehicles in there too. And then also too, I'm going to be starting a podcast coming up just anytime. I'm going to be interviewing our general manager. I'm going to be interviewing our finance manager, our Dodge sales manager, our service manager, some salespeople, customers. I'm going to interview some customers, and we're going to get some real life stories about what goes on in the dealership, on the showroom floor. Some great stories, funny stories. What goes on in the office, where the curtain, what's going on behind the curtain. Well, what I'm going to try to do is peel that curtain back so you know exactly what's going on. It's just it's going to be a load of information, a lot of good information for you, so you don't have the unfortunate situation of sitting there and wondering what's going on. Why is it taking so long? Why did they have to do this? What's the reason for this? And why are they doing that? So that way you understand a process that we have to go through. A lot of it is legal process, just to make sure we're compliant with the laws in vehicle sales. A lot of it is to make sure we're getting all the information we need to put you in the best situation for purchasing a vehicle. There's just a lot of things, a lot of information that I think that unless you've done it, you really don't understand why it's happening. So got more stuff coming. So again, check out the podcast. It should be hitting soon. I've done a few trial episodes and just trying to tweak some things, get it going. And you can go to my Facebook page, Deals with Monty. Like and subscribe. That way I can keep putting out these videos and information to help you with your vehicle searches. And thank you again for watching. If you have any questions, like I said, if you're interested in a vehicle, call me, text me, 940-235-9345. I appreciate you tuning in. I appreciate you watching. I hope you have a great day. I love you guys, and I hope you and your family are blessed.
Thanks for tuning in to the Everybody Loves Deals with Monty podcast, whereas the deals are easy and the stories are real.